Hello everyone and welcome to Top Entry. Today, we are gonna be diving into some of my favorite conspiracy theories. But before we start, let's break down what a conspiracy theory is. A conspiracy theory is an explanation of an event or situation that invokes a conspiracy by sinister and powerful actors, when other explanations are more probable. Alright, now let's begin with our first conspiracy theory, and probably the most famous one. In 1776, Bavaria, Germany, a German professor by the name of Adam Weishaupt founded the Order of the Illuminati, after being convinced that religious ideas were no longer an adequate belief system to govern modern societies. And it started with 5 men establishing the rules that were to govern the order. And it grew and kept on growing until it had over 600 members by 1782. And they included important people in the Bavarian public life, like Baron Adolf and Mayor Rothschild, who were funding for the Illuminati. And just after 2 years, the Illuminati had over 3,000 members. But in late 1780s, the Order of the Illuminati was stopped by the Catholic Church. However, they would go on secretly and reach France until they disappeared. But people believed that they survived and still go into this day as something called the New World Order. And there are a couple of theories surrounding the Illuminati. One of them is that the US government and the United Nations are part of the Illuminati. Here's an eerie clip of former US President George W. Bush giving a speech about this New World Order.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
The second theory is that the Illuminati are hypnotizing celebrities or killing them and replacing them with clones to share their message through them. And if they were hypnotized, there should be some sort of a code word that makes them snap out of it. Or if they were cloned, a glitch could happen. And there are a bunch of videos online of these celebrities freezing or glitching. Here is one of our worker.
Will someone do the junior high hug? It's like this. You gotta make it real awkward.
That's exactly how
you have to have a certain amount of distance between the bodies
exactly.
in junior high.
Yes, like they say in Catholic school, leave room for the Holy Ghost. Anyway, there is a lot of memories today, actually. It's a big day in music history.
35 years ago today, Elvis Presley passed away, the king of rock and roll. And as Mark Cohn says in his great song, Walking in Memphis, there's a pretty little thing waiting for the king down.
And one of Cardi B.
I'm feeling great, I feel nervous, a little bit overwhelmed. I feel a little shaky, I don't know what's wrong with me. No, but it's good. No, it's good. You gonna get good.
And also one of Beyonce. And the last theory about the Illuminati is that a lot of the famous celebrities are in it, and you can see them throwing around Illuminati gestures. You can see it in music, movies, and even kids' cartoons. And also, when I was researching for this video, I stumbled upon a website called IlluminatiOfficial.org, where you can literally join the Illuminati. Back in the 1960s, the US was desperately trying to beat other countries by being the first country to send humans to the moon. And on the 20th of July, 1969, Apollo 11 was the first crewed mission to land on the moon, and it was sent by America. But what if they couldn't make it? What if they faked it? So they can be the first country to land on the moon. And there are a lot of evidence to back that up. The first one is that the flag was waving when placed on the moon. If you look at the video of the moon landing, you can clearly see the flag waving around, but that shouldn't happen because there is no air on the moon. But also, that could be because there is no gravity on the moon, so when you move something, it doesn't go back down. Our second point that points to the moon landing being fake is that there are no stars on the moon. If you look at the video again and look at the background, you see that it's pitch black and no stars are visible while it should be surrounded by millions of stars. But that also could be because there is no atmosphere on the moon. Okay, those were kinda weak evidence and can be debunked easily, but these next ones are not. The shadows on the moon. So, if you are on the moon and your only light source is the sun, your shadow should just go in one direction. But if you look at the moon landing footage again, you'll see that the shadows are going everywhere. More like how studio light will cast shadows. Our fourth and final point is the sea rock. So if you look at the footage, you can see a rock that has the letter C written on it, looking more like a movie prop rather than a real rock. And now, onto our final theory, which is my personal favorite. Before we start, let me just say, the universe is huge, it's endless, and the possibility of aliens existing is much more than the possibility of them not existing. Okay, so now let's get into some evidence that proves aliens exist. Back in 1997, a radio show host by the name of Art Bell got a call from a guy claiming to be a former employee at Area 51. And he was saying that the aliens are not who they claim to be, and that they are going to take over. But mid-call, the radio station lost their signal. Here, take a listen for yourself.
Here, hello.
Hello, Art.
Yes.
Hi. I don't have a whole lot of time.
Well, look, let's begin by finding out whether you're using this line properly or not.
Area 51.
Yeah, that's right. Were you an employee or are you now?
A former employee.
Former employee.
I was let go on a medical discharge about a week ago, and I've kind of been running across the country. Oh man, I don't know where to start. They're gonna they'll triangulate on this position really soon.
So you can't spend a lot of time on the phone. So give us something quick.
Okay. Okay. What we're thinking of as aliens are they're extra-dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the military, I'm sorry, the government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now, Art.
But they're not doing anything.
They are not. They want the major population centers wiped out so that the few that are left will be more easily controllable.
Discharge.
I started getting...
Back in 2013, Paul Hiller, the Canadian Minister of Defense, said at a government meeting that there are 4 species of aliens and that 2 of them were working with the United States. And one of these species that are working with the US are called the tall whites. Here's the video.
Investigation was launched into this whole subject, and a document was prepared which concluded that at least 4 species had been visiting Earth for thousands of years. I was glad to have Linda this morning finally say that there are live ETs on Earth at this present time, and at least 2 of them probably working with the United States government. The other species that I learned about not too long ago was called the tall whites. And
before we dive into our last case, let's talk about the Men in Black theory. The Men in Black are an organization that specializes in UFOs and alien sightings. They are reported to come in twos and wear all black and have no eyebrows, no eyelashes, and look identical to each other. And they talk to 2 types of people: people who research UFOs and people who have seen a UFO. And they threaten them to be silent about what they have seen or what they have researched. On October 14th, 2008, Shane Sorval, who is a hotel manager, along with a hotel security guard, reported seeing a flying UFO outside his hotel. And after 3 weeks of reporting that, 2 men in black show up at the hotel looking for Shane and the security guard. But luckily, they were not there at the time, and when Shane got back to the hotel and heard about these men, he reviewed the security camera footage, and this is what he saw. I also have a theory of my own about the Men in Black. What if they made the Men in Black movies to try and cover up any evidence of the real Men in Black existing on the internet? Because if you go to Google and search Men in Black, you would only see the movie. Anyway, these were some of my favorite conspiracy theories. If you enjoyed, give this video a like and subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss any future uploads. And also tell me in the comments if you want me to make more creepy videos like this. This was Top Entry. Stay safe, everyone.